Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today we're unboxing Kingdom Death Monster.
The Gambler's Chest expansion, the most anticipated game of the decade.
I would argue century. I've been waiting for 5 or 6 years for this. Some people have been waiting for
7 or 8 years. We cannot wait to dive into this game, and you are going to be seeing a month full of Kingdom Death content coming your way.
My favorite game of all time, her second favorite game of all time.
My favorite campaign game. Let's dive in.
Miniatures.
So much plastic.
Kingdom Death exists. We're going to set this off to the side. Don't worry. You'll see B-roll of it, and we'll be doing how-to builds on things as our campaign progresses. But the real Gambler's expansion is contained here in this box. Shira,
yes.
Do you want to run them through what they're going to find inside of here?
So many things. First is going to be cardboard, terrain, and tokens. They have these fingers that are going to be terrain pieces. Look at that. There's a tree, a brain tree, and a pit.
So these will be used for the various different creatures. There are 6 brand new creatures, monsters that we're going to be fighting throughout the course of the campaign. That's going to be what some of the miniatures are. And there's something like, there's like 5 or 6 different modules right now included.
Yeah, there's a lot of different systems that they are introducing here. And so I believe this system is going to be the encounter system, where you are going to have an option to get hunted down before you actually go out on the hunt.
So when you're actually going out on the hunt, which is where you're exploring, trying to find the creature that you're tracking down, you yourself can be hunted as well. They gave an example of bone eaters.
It's a mini showdown before the showdown, actually.
They gave an example of bone eaters, which is these giant naked people that were trying to slaughter and consume you before you even make it to the thing that you're trying to make it to. Looks insane and awesome.
They have new XP survivor sheets, and it looks like they've updated them. There's philosophy. They're going to be revamping the way that they take hunt experience and actually carry on the knowledge for your settlement.
Yep.
That is going to be completely changed in this version. So.
Now, any of these modules are kind of mix and match. So if you play the campaign that exists here in the actual game, you're going to come across all of them. But in core Kingdom Death, you can choose to incorporate them however you like. Some of the experimental modules they've done up to this point.
Yeah, so like the philosophy system, the knowledge system, they're going to be taking the fighting arts and getting more experienced of those as well. We have got our rulebook. Gambler's
Chest rulebook. This is going to be stock full of pictures. Yeah. Something like 100 plus brand new pieces of artwork.
Oh my gosh.
Holy cow, what's the thank you say?
To those who have gone ahead, I thank you. The fun we shared, the adventures we had, and the promises we made under those youthful and starry skies. I carry those dreams. To the many people who worked on this project, I thank you. To the fans, backers, supporters, and silent supporters, I thank you. You continue to stoke the flames of creative ambition. May your lantern always shine bright.
So this model was hand carved.
Yeah.
Every single figure is unique.
Every single piece has to get put onto the miniature. Yeah. I've seen that miniature. It comes in a blank ball.
Okay, so the Gambler's Chest expansion.
Yeah, this is the Gambler.
Go ahead and read the introduction, and then I'll talk about what they're going to be incorporating in.
The Gambler's Chest expansion, a collection of new rules, monsters, and components, plus a campaign to experience them all. That is the campaign that you're going to be
We are going to be doing a full run of that campaign here on Quackalope.
It's called the Dreamkeeper campaign.
And now that we have a permanent studio with a permanent game table and a permanent game player, my wife, we're going to actually be able to make it through.
The Gambler's Chest expansion contains many new elements that will challenge Kingdom Death Monster players. In the following pages, you will find an overview of the new components, content, and miniatures included in this box. For returning survivors, the Gambler's Chest expansion includes People of the Dreamkeeper, a campaign that weaves together the myriad game elements found in this book. Excited players who want to jump right into the experience, the Gambler's Chest should turn to the prologue on page 33 to start their journey. Reference the rules sections as questions arrive.
So excited.
It's so cool. Core rules, story events, and variants. Collection storage. The Gambler's Chest includes storage options to help keep your collection organized.
Okay, so the things are going to be mixing in. Narrative sculpts is something we're not showing you here, but I'm sure we'll have some B-roll of eventually. This is going to be, instead of wearing Kingdom Death originally, you could put every piece of armor, every weapon, everything was modular, but a pretty static figure. Here you have thematic sculpts that tell more of an immersive story. What they found over time is that people from Kingdom Death were just making the survivor that died or creating the story they wanted to create, and so they decided to actually incorporate that here. But what's neat is the weapons and armor and swords still can be modular to a decent degree.
You can have survivors who are wearing a full lion armor. You can have them in a full rawhide armor, leather armor. You can have, there's survivors that are going to be the little children who have learned, the progeny, who have learned from their parents how to wield axes and blades and all of these cool things. You have the story. Like, I still have some attachment to my characters, Ash, Ember, Blue, like all of my original characters, and how they died. I wrote little snippets of their like gory details.
So patterns and seed patterns.
Patterns and seed patterns. These are going to be new weapons that are not dependent on a location. So in the original Kingdom Death, you had, I think, 12 or 13 different locations that you can go to start crafting armor.
Based largely off of what you were hunting and bringing back to the camp.
They start unlocking as you delve further and further into the game. These are going to be gear that is independent. They are going to be dependent more on the disorders that you have, the experiences that you had, your proficiencies, what weapons you used, and it's going to be very, very selective and unique and specific.
Like, for instance, you can make a fake butcher's mask where you skin the face of one of your tribesmen, dump it in ammonia for a season, and then let it dry.
Yeah.
Brilliant, right? Encounters. Monsters that waylay your hunt as you search for your quarry. We just talked about this with the map that we showed off. I have no idea what we might be able to face. I do know for a fact there's going to be a ton of like weird little twisted nightmare things that happen on this sideboard here in the main game. Scouts of Death. This is an idea I was really, really excited about them bringing here into.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah. So the concept is, when you go out with your hunting party, a group of 4,
and you all die,
you still get the resources back. And they had a little bit of lore around this, like the idea of another person going out with you was always hovering around the edges, or like the settlement kind of knowing.
I remember
I
asked you what happens if we all die, what happens to all of our gear, and you're like, someone's out there
and
carrying it.
The answer from the Gambler's Chest, or from Kingdom Death, is that there is a 5th survivor that always makes a pledge of death with those 4, and they go out, and the pledge they make is the opposite of the pledge that the other 4 survivors make. Instead of going to sacrifice their life for the sake of the settlement, they will not intervene for the sake of trying their best to bring back the resources, because the settlement cannot afford to lose everything that they're bringing out, the only weapons, the only gear, the only armor that the tribe has. So this 5th scout is now going to be a functional, interactable character. I cannot wait to see how this mechanic works.
I'm really excited about the Wanderers. The Wanderers are going to be visitors to your settlement, and you have the opportunity to go down their narrative trail, and you might want to choose to help them, and they'll give you really cool gear and locations and experiences and events. Or if you don't choose to help them, I mean, it also might be dangerous to help them. Like, it's a choice, like as in Kingdom Death, every single choice that you make has a risk of death.
It seems that down the road as well, things like Wanderers and the Encounters are systems where Kingdom Death will be able to do mini expansions to add into this system while we wait for the next wave, which is wave 4. New monsters.
There are 6 new monsters. They come with their nemesis. They come like fully monsterfied in this.
And the king is here.
Yeah.
The king is actually here. Shira, throughout you haven't played enough of the base game, but throughout the base game, there's this story, this arc that's happening that you never get to see the completion of. You have the Kingsmen, and you have the Hand.
Yeah.
So you have this procession
that's
happening.
You have the Knights, the Golden Knight.
They come walking through your village. They come attacking you and fighting you and keeping you pruned to like the perfect ripeness. And the king never showed up. He was supposed to be part of a campaign called the Lantern Festival. But back then, Pooch couldn't figure out exactly how to bring that to life, so they canceled it. They refunded the money, they ended it. And now the king is here, back in his glory, and we'll get to see where that narrative kind of continues and who that creature is.
Yeah, and actually, he's not the final battle here.
He's
the
not.
God Hand is
the
going
God
to be
Hand is the final
the
battle.
God Hand is going to be the final battle, and I'm excited about these.
Ark Survivors.
I actually don't know much about. I didn't hear much about these Ark Survivors.
Ark Survivors. The concept is going to be that you have survivors that are actually going to be carrying knowledge, like the
elders of the settlement.
Yeah, sort of, but it's like the Ark. It's like Noah's Ark in a certain way. It's not like Ark Survivors. It's like I'm a harbor. I'm a boat for you, and they're going to be carrying and storing knowledge that you're able to actually dip back into later on in campaigns or later on in the settlement.
The knowledge from fighting the monsters, the experience that you get with the weapons, your proficiencies,
you're
finding arts,
unlocking more and more skill.
The Dreamkeeper campaign is going to be the campaign that encompasses all of these new factors.
So this is just going to be showing off some of the stuff. So there's the patterns.
A diamond scap guitar.
Here's the you see the naked people.
Yeah, bone eaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fully naked.
They're going to be hunting you down. Scouts of Death. We should have been flipping through these pages, but we didn't know. Wanderers. This is going to be the first Wanderer that we have. He's going to be showing up. The campaign starts here at the Crimson Crocodile. We have the Smog Singers, which is going to be another, I think, a level 2 creature that we can hunt. We have Antis, the Child Eater, which is really just Santa Claus. We all know it. We have the coolest miniature I think I've ever seen in a board game, period, ever. Hold Nunbard, the Gambler. We have the King, the fabled ecstasy of the past, and we have the God Hand, which I know nothing about, and they will not talk about at all.
The hand transformed.
They say make it to the end of the campaign to learn. Ark Survivors, this is what I was talking about. They're going to be collecting knowledge. You can see like Mirror Eyes 2. They're growing into this thing that just harbors and keeps information.
These are the Ark record sheets that they have here.
We have the Dreamkeeper campaign.
This is where the prologue starts. Turn the page, read the prologue, and start playing now.
Do we want to start the prologue? You don't want to read the prologue?
Fine, yeah.
Once upon a time.
In a place of carved stone faces, a monster ate a tremendous meal. Its belly was so full that it could not move, so it slumbered.
This is where we start in the Lantern campaign, except this time
it's a monster.
Yeah, the creature has eaten us.
When the monster had digested, it awoke. It raised its curious head into the wind and smelled the despair of people stirring somewhere in the unbroken darkness. The monster licked its blood-caked snout and set off to investigate.
The monster walked unhurried through the darkness, following the scent. It grew hungrier and hungrier as the scent got stronger, its powerful heart pounded with joy as it came upon the great chest. The box reeked with delicious promise. The monster greedily nosed it open.
All up its back. How delectable they would be if only their organs were bursting with fear.
The monster toyed with its morsels, tasting their terror, twinge sweat as it skittered between its great big teeth. It laughed as they tickled it with their scrabbling hands, climbing to escape.
There was one mouthful that did not taste of terror. She was not tender with despair. She reached between the monster's grasping fingers and freed a shard of stone. She took a deep breath and bellowed into the darkness, hoping her cries would reach someone.
Somewhere, in the place of stone faces, people raised a lantern to illuminate their doom. They knew they could not survive, yet they struggled just the same. These are the ones that taste the best, thought the monster, delighted. Amazing. And that's where it starts. Starts on the Crimson Crocodile.
The recurring story.
A whole new campaign. Tons of new rules. We're going to be reading through these. We're going to be giving you all updates on how each one of these systems works and incorporates into the game system. Here's the narrative sculpts that we have, so you can actually pick and choose which ones you want to build and at what point you want to incorporate them into the game.
Look, the father and son, the baby.
I see.
A baby.
I like the murder victim.
Yeah.
Dead survivor. Just build it as a part of your adventure. And then, let's see here. Where I really want to get to is there's always some, like, flickering, amazing, beautiful, holy cow. I just, we'll go quickly through these. Like, I don't want to pause on them too long because I just want to give the impression of what's here. Whoa! That is a white lion.
Being eaten by the croc.
Oh my gosh. Woo!
That's very bloody.
Okay, these are going to be the bone eaters.
Yeah.
Okay. Some type of pact is being made there. The artwork in Kingdom of Death has always been mind-blowing. Yeah. Okay, a little bit of romance, some intimacy happening. Whoa. Whoa, I don't even know what that means. The Lantern Festival.
This is what you were talking about, Lantern Festival.
Limitless King.
They brought it back.
Oh my gosh.
Logistics of death.
Oh man. Okay. We're almost there. Do we keep going or do we stop?
We have to stop
We
at
keep
some
flipping?
point. Yeah.
The artwork's so cool. Oh, this is the hand showdown here.
Smog Singers.
Absolutely epic. Stained. I don't even know what's happening. That's gonna maybe explain the eyes. The awaited. Okay, yeah. The game. Okay, interesting. There's Atlas. Unwanted gifts. Oh, nice. Good.
They're carrying a box with their own heads in it.
Good. Vaults. Okay, these could be the mind vaults.
Look at their brain.
Wondrous design.
It's the gambler.
Perfect punt. Shadow gambler. Game theory. There's some game being played above all of this. The God Hand. Holy cow.
Epilogue.
Epilogue defeat. Epilogue victory. Variants and extras. And here's some just massive pieces of artwork.
Oh my gosh.
I want some of these like massive blown up.
I like the way like they play with like the absence of light and color and darkness.
Okay, shall we flip through some of the things that are actually in this box? I mean, that was kind of the whole unboxing right there, right?
Essentially. Essentially.
We've got some dice, some classic black dice. We got a new dice shape.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah.
Do not open until instructed.
What does it feel like?
Dice.
It feels like dice?
Something like that.
So I've seen a picture of a die that is red. Like, brilliantly red. And I'm curious if that's it.
But it says not to open until it's instructed.
But there's a picture.
Who would dare not obey the rules of Kingdom Death?
Of course. Here's your settlement. This is like this is going through their campaign. This is, oh my gosh. I'm so excited.
So we have our brand new shop locations.
Wow, how many times do they think we're gonna die?
Oh, enough.
Very much so.
Enough. So here's the Bone Eaters.
That's 39. Oh, it's a whole booklet.
And then we have the
Crimson Crockery.
Corsum, Crimson Crockery, some strange runic language. Good, like that. Forum, the Gaming Gazebo.
I really like this, the way...
Keeper of Dreams, Kingsmith, and the Outskirts.
They have this way to keep track of everything. So these are all of the timeline, the events.
For the core
your
story.
Quarries, your nemesis, the Butcher's coming back here. I see the Phoenix is coming up here. Campaign milestones.
Yeah.
Departing survivor bonuses. And then you open it up. And so here you have all of your survivors. Their sex, the hunt XP, the philosophy, the rank, the notes, retired, dead, death count, principles, your innovations, your settlement locations, resource storage. There's so much stuff to keep track of.
If you can't tell, Shira really likes the tracking part.
Your collective cognition, your settlement victories, your philosophies, your knowledge, your collective cognition rewards.
So there's so much more in here. I don't know that I want to like start popping everything, right? Because I don't want to spoil stuff.
No, I don't want to spoil stuff. I want to display it appropriately and get to organize it.
You know, we've got more Scout Discovery cards.
Got the little booklets here.
Yeah, so these little booklets are their technology, their philosophies. They were going to be cards originally, but there's expanded into
starting philosophy. There's dreamism. There's survivalism.
So you can see these are the different types of things that you create.
Yeah, but these are some of the wanderers also. These are their stories and their booklets as they come to visit.
So like you have philosophies here though that you slowly go through and develop this idea or this treatment of a people.
Oh my goodness. So many of them.
Yeah.
There's just so much content
here.
I don't want to disrupt the organization because I want to sleeve everything. I want to look at it all. Hit locations.
Knowledge cards.
AI.
I mean, the cards look beautiful
Death
as well.
Count.
We have AI. Like, I don't want to open up the AI for each
lantern.
creature. We need to fight them before we actually dive into them.
Hit locations, Dangling Bell, and an exotic bone bracer. What else is there? organizing for the gear cards. Where's the gear? The gear is like some of my most favorite thing.
We have characters. We have AI here for the Smog Singers.
The Spear of Life. We've got the Grand Kingslayer. We've got a Rawhide bandana. We need a new binder to put all the gear in.
We are going to need a brand new binder to put all the gear in. Luckily, we have one.
So excited. This is just more storage and organizing.
Where's that knife?
Knife is right here. You're opening a deck of cards?
I am gonna open a deck of cards.
For what?
So this has the different types of gear that we can build.
So this is the AI for the Crimson Croc. He's who we're encountering first.
I'll leave him as a surprise though. We don't want to know what he does.
But I do want to know what he
Beforehand.
does.
So
Can I
look.
look at the resources then?
So this seed patterns. This is what I want to see. A mighty bone axe, Munster trophy, Neko Twilight armor.
So like if you look at the ingredients, you need perfect bone, organ, a sword specialist who fought Atlas. Like
Yeah.
it's going to be so specific. Heat, yeah.
Plasma cutter, rawhide bandana, reaper jaw, shadow.
A survivor's
cleaver.
suppressed shadow.
I don't even know how you get that. Splinter helm, tithe box, true lantern halberd, weaponsmith hammer.
Yeah, those are so cool.
It doesn't have the fake butcher mask. Where are you, fake butcher mask? Maybe it's around somewhere. Maybe it didn't end up making the cut. I don't know. All these other things, like I don't know what they are, so I don't want to, you know.
Stop
I
flipping
wanna
through.
look at
Stop
them.
flipping through.
I'm trying to figure out what I can show people.
Yeah.
Like I just can't show you. I just can't show you anything. I can't. Okay, you've been seeing B-roll throughout this whole thing of the stuff we're allowed to show you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you enjoyed this unboxing video. If you're excited about more Kingdom Death content, hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned.
There's
leave
going to
a
be
comment
so
down
much
below.
coming down the line.
Yeah.
This is our focus. right
Yeah,
now.
this is going to be in the game table, like permanent for the next 6 months or so.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever the case, whatever you do,
Remember to do the important thing. Stay strong. Fight monsters. We'll see you next time.